Now, one of the things that we know about Nio is that when it comes to premium EV, they dominate the market. The last time we checked, I think it was June, July, they had a market cap of over 40%, which shows you the kind of dominance that Nio has on these premium EVs. I mean, today we just got to read a list comprising of vehicles or EV cars from 300 to 400,000 RMB, and you'll know that under that segment, Nio has got four models, and namely that is the ES6, EC6, ET5 and the ET5 Touring. The other four models which they are selling, which makes them to have 8 models in total, they fall over 400,000 RMB, and that is the ET7, ES7, EC7 and the ES8. All these models are over 400,000, which also there we see companies like Nio also having a pretty decent market share. This in total overall shows us or proves to us that when we compare Nio in terms of sales to with other EV makers or other mass market brands, we need to always have that at the back of our minds to say that Nio sells premium cars which are expensive and cannot be afforded by just anyone. When you talk about Nio, you must talk about Mercedes. When you talk about Nio, you must talk about BMW, you must talk about Audi, Lexus and others, which is something that is just pretty exciting. Now, based on these figures which were showing us the EVs within the range of 300 to 400,000 RMB, Nio, the first 4 spot was taken or were taken by Nio, which is something that shows you the kind of dominance that Nio has got in this market of between 300 to 400,000 RMB. I mean, the first model, of course, it is the ES6. We know the ES6 is the best-selling models. On to Nio, I think since inception to date, over 40% of Nio's total sales were generated by just this one model. But one thing that we are seeing recently is that other models like the ET5 Touring, ET5 are starting to also get their space when it comes to the best or some of the good selling models onto Nio. I mean, the second best selling models, it is with no doubt ET5 Touring, which this model, it was quite surprising seeing it doing well in China, especially knowing that this model, when Nio came up with this model, they were making it primarily for Europe, and Europe this model is not doing as anticipated, but in China this model has now become Nio's second best-selling model, which is something that is just so crazy. Now the third model on this list is the ET5 mid sedan, which this model also, I mean, it is doing very well. Before the ET5 Touring, it was the second best-selling model, but a lot of people are liking the ET5 Touring than this ET5 mid sedan, which is something that I think it's pretty exciting, pretty amazing to see. Of course, interesting how these models are playing out. Now the last best-selling model that made it onto this list was the EC6. Now EC6, you know that it also has been doing pretty good, pretty well, pretty decent, and this model also, it is one of the most important models because it generates some good sales. I mean, all of these models, 4 of them, I think make about 80% of Nio's total sales, which is something that is pretty exciting, and it shows you the kind of importance these 4 models play onto Nio's total deliveries on a month to month. I mean, this list right here, as I was telling you, ES6 got 7,505, ET5 Touring got 4,680, with the ET5 mid sedan having 2,707, followed by, last but not least, 2,418, scooped by the EC6. Now this delivery breakdown came from the August deliveries, where we saw Nio selling just over 20,200, which was something that was pretty exciting to see Nio performing like that. So I mean, these cars are doing pretty well. I mean, the 5th model is the i3, BMW i3, 6th model e-tron, then Xpeng X9. I mean, it just shows you how Nio is doing very well, because BMW i3, which is in the 5th spot, had 1,827, and yet Nio fourth spot, EC6 scooped 2,418, with ES6 scooping 7,505, which shows you the kind of dominance that Nio has got onto this list. I mean, this list comprises of the top 20, and the last at position number 20 is the Mercedes EQA with just 29. So the lowest had 29 vehicles sold in August, whilst the highest was the ES6 with 7,505. It shows you where Nio is when it comes to this premium EV space. It is for this reason that I continue to remain bullish, long and strong onto the Nio stock. And with Onvo launched for the mass market brand, I know that they are also going to do exceptionally well, because technology, they've got it all. I mean, quality, they've got it all, and beauty, they've also got it all. And therefore, it is with no doubt that they will also dominate and have some good market share within their segment. You know that the segment that, of course, Onvo L60 falls under, it is the segment of between 200 and 300,000 RMB. And boy, I must say, I look forward and I hope that they have a decent market share, which will, as a result, elevate Nio to go further. I mean, one of the good things that we saw coming from Nio today is that we got to see Onvo L60 just in the first 3 days of sales, scoping 832 sales, which is something that is pretty exciting, pretty amazing, and it shows you the kind of sales we will be able to generate this month. I mean, if they were able to sell 832 in 3 days, you can imagine the kind of sales they will be able to sell this month in October. I think we are easily going to see plus 5,000 from Onvo alone, which is something that is pretty exciting, pretty amazing. And Nio models are going to continue maintaining the 20,000, which that as a result will make Nio to have a total of 25 or plus 25,000 deliveries in October, which we look forward to. Otherwise, with all that, just thought I'd just give it this quick update. Tell me what you think about this list. I think it tells us and shows us that Nio is a company that is doing very well, and chances of it dying, not doing well, going to bankruptcy are now almost zero, which is something that is pretty exciting and has to motivate you and me to continue loading the boat, because blue sky is coming. Otherwise, do your own DD. That's all from me. I wish nothing but the best, and God bless you all.